Buckle up, folks. This podcast is all about diving into the good, the bad, and the ugly of our bodily, spiritual, and mental experiences. If you are not prepared to challenge your assumptions, laugh at yourself, laugh at me, or maybe even shed a tear or two, then you might want to look elsewhere. But if you're ready to get real, get honest, and get a little weird, then welcome to the Just Chrissy podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy McCammon. Welcome back, friends. This is Chrissy on the podcast Just Chrissy and owner of Rooted in Wellness. Like when I first started, anytime you start anything, you kind of have to find your groove, find your specialty. And what I have found with this health and wellness is I love taking people through those initial 21 days of getting their body cleaned up and doing a cleanse. And I like to do the cleanse 4 times a year because what happens is, say I do just January and I do 30 days. Well, then I have 11 months till the next cleanse. And during that time, my wellness compass will get pulled off in different directions and I will forget some of the principles of like not snacking between meals or what foods I'm paying attention to, what foods I'm eating, all the things that I'm teaching you. So if I do it every quarter, that helps me stay aligned throughout the year because in that 7 days or 12 or 14 days that I may do, I'm reminding myself to eat well and to not have too many refined foods and to get sleep and to make sure my stress is lower. It's a realignment of my thinking. So today I thought, you know what? We need to talk about when we eat, how we eat, what the day should look like. Does this mean you're going to apply every single thing that I'm going to talk about? No, we're talking about progress. Some people are 100%ers and they're going to be like, okay, tomorrow morning I'm going to get up and I'm going to do this, 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 and this. Maybe you're not a 100%er. Maybe you just are like, okay, that's not even reasonable for me. It doesn't work with my schedule. The only things I can apply are this, 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 and this. And that goes back to the what can you do? What are you willing to do? And what can you afford to do? It goes back to the thinking, the individual, the bio-individual, like what works for you. So when you hear this schedule, I'm putting multiple options in there. You're picking out what works for you. There are some basic things, though, that are pretty much a must. Unless you're a diabetic, because a diabetic can't go long periods of time without food. So if you're a diabetic, it's a little different. You do want to be able to have access to food, but make it healthy food. So the rhythm of the sun, we talked about this, the circadian rhythm. We talked about sleep, and when you get tired at night between 9:30 and 10:30, that you should lay down and go to sleep, because when the sun goes down, your melatonin's kicking in and it's time to rest. Well, around 6 o'clock in the morning, your cortisol will start kicking in. The sun is coming up. It's time to rise. When you wake up, now I keep a glass of water beside my bed. My husband thinks that's totally disgusting because he can't stand warm water. I don't mind warm water, but I keep 10 ounces of water beside my bed, sprinkle a little bit of Baja salt or Celtic salt in that water, and immediately when you wake up, you can drink that 10 ounces. Now, I tend to wake up the first time around 4. So I may drink some of that water right then, and then I doze back off for a little bit. Remember, we talked about those 90-minute sections of sleep. But have that 10 ounces of water, put a couple little pinches of the Baja or the Celtic salt in there, or you could even take the salt and put it on your tongue. And I know, like, if you're used to Morton salt, you're thinking, ooh, that's disgusting. Actual real salt doesn't taste like Morton salt. Morton salt is 2 chemicals that kill your taste buds. The Celtic salt and the Baja remineralized salt is totally different. It doesn't taste bad. So maybe you enjoy putting a couple crystals on your tongue and then just swallowing some water. Then, if you can, get up and go for a walk and watch the sunrise. And that walk can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half hour, whatever it is that you can enjoy and like. If you can get that walk in before you eat breakfast, then you're going to use up stored glucose in your body, which is super beneficial. But if you're someone who likes to eat breakfast first and then go for a walk, you're really helping your digestive system. So basically, going for a walk anytime is going to benefit you. In the morning, when you have breakfast, you are breaking your fast because you had all night that you didn't eat, and now you're getting up and you're going to break your fast. When you're in the cleanse, you're going to have a shake. And what that shake is doing is giving your digestive system and your liver a break because it doesn't have to really break down the food. A shake is already broken down. You've already done part of the work for your digestive system. And then you're just filling it full of your vitamins and nutrients, proteins, fibers. So if you're doing the cleanse, you're doing a shake. If you're eating regular food, just make sure it has protein, fibers, and fats because that's what's going to keep you from getting hungry. And you can then go 4 to 5 hours without snacking. Now, when you do the shakes with the cleanse, your food's partially broken down already. So 3.5 hours, you're going to get ready to do another shake. But if you're eating food, remember in the digestion podcast, we talked about how you need 4 hours for the digestion. And then it's really nice. It's really a luxury if you can give your stomach an hour where it's not working. And you do that, no snacking after breakfast until lunch. And then lunchtime comes, and don't forget, you're drinking water throughout here. And if you can do a little pinch of salt, the good salts, throughout the day with some water, super beneficial. You're giving yourself those trace minerals that you need. So lunch comes around, you eat your lunch, you maybe go for another walk after lunch, and then you don't eat again until supper. Now, when you're doing the fast, you're just having shakes or you're having vegetables or whatever. But some people really like to fast. And this is also great for your body because the longer you fast, the more benefit you're getting. However, if your body is not healthy, fasting can sometimes make you sick. So I should have my friend Carol come talk about fasting. She does some teaching on this. But so for instance, you have your lunch at like 12, maybe you want to have your supper at 3 or 4, and then you're not going to eat again until the next day. Well, if you say stop eating at 4 and say you have your last meal at 4, and then for the next morning be 12 hours, and then say you don't eat until 8 a.m., that's 16 hours of fasting. There's a lot of good stuff happening in your body. You definitely, even if you eat your meal, say at 6, you definitely do not want to eat for 3 to 4 hours before bed. Your body is healing, it's in the healing process between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. If you eat food before you go to bed, you have just thrown carbs into your body, which is energy, and your digestion is stopping to deal, or not your digestion, your healing is stopping to deal with the digestion of the food. So we do not, and then also if you have acid reflux and you eat and then you lay down, that's not helping you either. So after you eat your last meal, whether you're fasting and eating earlier or eating at 5, 6, whenever it is, no snacking before bed. Make sure you're getting your water in and your walks in. Make sure that your meals have fats, proteins, and fibers. I'm going to do another podcast on this too, like fatty beef. And when you eat fat, healthy fats, not bad fats, healthy fats, that wraps around your food. And then you stay satiated longer because it takes longer for your body to break it down. Unlike cookies, bread, things like that, that is a quick carbohydrate. Your body gets it in there, it's refined or whatever, and your body, it's a quick energy, breaks it down, and then you're hungry again. Getting the fibers, the proteins, and the fats in really will help with that. The other thing that you should work on not doing is drinking with your meals. Now, we talked about the digestive system and the hydrochloric acid in your stomach. When you drink with your meals, you are diluting that hydrochloric acid. And remember, we talked about the stomach being the washing machine for your food. Chewing your food really well. Put your fork down between bites and chew it really well. And then if you're going to drink anything, maybe something like ginger tea that's warm, or something with a cayenne pepper in it that's warm, that's warming to the gut. But generally, drink 30 minutes before a meal or 2 hours after a meal. You don't want to drink with your meal, and you don't want to be stressed when you're eating. So, because that also, your digestion has stopped to deal with the stress. So don't eat while you're stressed. Something else that you need to be aware of, and I think is, this is another one of the whys. Why? WHY. Like, always ask why. Why is this happening? Why do I want to do that? When you want a wide variety of fruits and vegetables in your diet. For instance, if I know that I'm not going to eat a wide variety, then I have a product that I use from Equilife that's the daily fruit and vegetable blend. I'll link it in the comment or in the description. But it has 22 different fruits and vegetables with different colors in there to help me with that. However, you should be trying to get like 28 different, like a huge variety of fruits and vegetables because of the colonies being built in your gut. Your gut flora is very important. If you are only eating refined food, like McDonald's, you are only growing those microbes in your gut flora. If you are only eating sugary foods, you are growing candida in your gut. And so what happens is, because you're only eating those foods, you're growing those colonies, their communities, in the gut, and they take over. And that's why when you try to clean up, you will, at some point, if you're a huge sugar eater, have huge sugar cravings, you will crave sugar because those microbes are communities in your gut, and they're like, we are going to stay alive. We want more sugar. You need to feed us. So you're literally changing the way your gut is receiving food. So don't be discouraged when you have those cravings, and think about, like, you're growing different communities. It's important that you're getting different foods, different variety of lettuces, different varieties and colors of fruits and vegetables, and grow those communities so they are strong and the other communities are balanced. Because when you're only eating one kind of food, that's the only community down there you're growing. I hope that makes sense. So that your homework is to eat your meals, make sure they contain fats, proteins, and fiber. Don't snack between meals. Don't snack after supper. Drink at the appropriate time. Get the salt and water in. Get the exercise in. And then eat a wide variety of fruits and vegetables to grow the communities down there. I love to hear back from you guys, what you're applying, what you're doing, what you're finding, the changes you're experiencing. If you just apply these things, like, it will make a world of difference. And if you have any questions, please reach out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, high five, go apply.